Hey guys, welcome back to another Petroholics video. In today's video, we are reviewing this insane M140i, and we obviously own Bain, our M240i. So we're gonna review this car. We've been meaning to review an M140i so we can understand if I could go back in time, would I rather buy this M140i or would I rather buy my M240i? So first things first, we're obviously always going to introduce you to the driver. So Mr. Driver, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep, my name is Bavs.
Bavs, so you and I have actually known each other for a while. We went to college together at Woodhouse College.
Too long.
He's got a better beard, I still don't have a beard, but we move on. So Bav, what's your car? What do we have over here?
140i, B58.
How many miles does it have?
45.
45,000 miles, and what year?
It's 2018.
2018, so that's quite, is it an LCI? Or is it pre-LCI?
LCI 2.
LCI 2. So obviously it's got the infamous B58 engine, which we all love and adore. I want to understand, before we go ahead and review, like what's stock and what isn't. Okay. So can you go through the list of things that you've done to the car?
Pretty much in the engine bay is all stock.
Okay.
Haven't really done anything here, but I've put a sports cat on it. It's got a double res delete, stage 1 BM3, so it's pushing 420 now. And I put some carbon tips on the end as well, just to make it look a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Body kit wise, there's a diffuser on it. Still yet to put some more stuff on there, which should happen in the next week. Got a spoiler, custom wing mirror lights as well. Obviously I had to go for the double slack grills.
Absolutely.
Blackout badges all around. Private plate, which matches the car.
I love it.
The eyebrow lids, and I've got star lights. I've got ambient lighting inside, and I've got a fat sub that weighs me down, so I can't really pull that easy.
So one thing that I'll say, obviously you're not going to get to hear this like properly through the audio, but his sound system sounds amazing. It's so loud, but like it sounds crisp, like it sounds really good. What amp did you use? Do you know?
JBL.
JBL, there you go. He's got the best of the best.
It's pushing like, I think 1500 RMS or something, or 1000 RMS.
Bro, honestly, it sounds insane. And the ambient lighting is so nice, and he's got the Rolls Royce vibe starlights on the roof as well, which is sick. Another reason why I love the fact that we're reviewing this car is my car is obviously stage 1 tuned as well. So this is stage 1 tuned, and we should be pushing around the same horsepower.
Yeah.
I think the only real difference that we have is I have an MST air intake and you have the stock air intake, right?
Stock.
In terms of the chassis, have you done any bracing, any dampers, springs?
Nothing.
Everything's stock, right?
I like the car stock because I like the way it swings out at me.
Yeah. But you want to fit an LST at some point. It doesn't have an LST, right?
It doesn't have an LSD, and I don't think I'm going to get an LSD, to be honest.
Okay.
I just feel like it's a waste of money for me because...
It's quite expensive, right?
Yeah, no, it's not even about the expense. It's just quite like the car how it is, to be honest. The whole point is for it to spin out the back end for you, innit?
Yeah.
So that's why I prefer it how it is.
Okay, cool. And one question that I had, have you ever had coolant issues?
No.
No issues at all?
No. So I've had the car 2 years, and only a month ago my coolant was low and I just filled it up.
Yeah.
But you know the most common issue for coolant is people say it leaks, but it leaks from the cap.
Yeah.
It's because that rubber ring, innit?
Yeah, exactly. So I was just going to say, I had the exact same issue, and I replaced the cap. It was like £18 and it was all good. So the reason why I bring this up is because I thought maybe it affects my car because it was a 2016. Is that the first B58?
Could be, yeah, because LCI 2s, they've made a lot of changes to them.
Yeah. But you're still suffering the coolant issue. Like it came up once, right?
As in, it just said that it was low.
Yeah.
But when I looked inside and opened the cap, it was way below minimum.
Yeah.
And that's in 2 years of owning it.
Yeah.
So I've had no issues with it.
So there you go. Even with the LCIs, you still got that coolant issue where you have to replace the cap. And BMW won't give it to you for free because why would they?
Yeah, exactly.
So just
they like to make their money, just like how they're charging for heated seats on the new cars now, aren't they?
Oh my God, everything's going to be subscription based, honestly.
Yep. Pretty much. You're going to have to start paying subscription to drive your car, mate.
So have I missed anything? This is a 5-door M140i running 420 bhp, You've got some mad sound system. You've done some great things cosmetically to the car.
Still more to come.
Still more to come.
Still more to come.
Might have to review it again once we've done those.
I think so.
Well, guys, look, without further ado, Graciano and I, we're going to have the opportunity, thanks to Babs, to drive this car. So I'm going to have like a 15-minute stint. Graciano's going to have about a 15-minute stint. And obviously, both Graciano and I have driven my M240i. 15 to 20 minutes should be more than enough time for us to gain sort of like our opinion on this car. And at the end, we'll come together and we'll tell you, based on our own opinion, which car would we rather own. Graciano's probably going to have a completely different answer to me, as always, but we'll see. So right now I'm in comfort mode and I want to just take this for like a 15-minute drive just to get an understanding of like how this car compares to the feel of the M240.
Yeah. And decide if it's worth spending money on this or your M240.
Yeah. So instantly I can still feel that infamous throttle lag, but like it's just because it's a characteristic of these B58s, unfortunately. The limitation is the fact that one, it's an automatic car, and two, it's a turboed car. But again, I'm sure we can tweak the ECU to accommodate for that. So instantly, I feel that little bit of throttle lag. And another thing to note, so my car is pre-LCI, so it's 2016. So it is the first B58 to be released. So it was the first car after the M235i, the 2016 M240. This is a 2018 M140i. So you got the digital dials. Well, no, the actual dials are analog, is it the word?
No, the analog, but there's digital numbers on it.
Yeah,
right?
digital numbers. So the back screen is digital, but the actual dials are still physical dials, which is kind of cool. I'll be honest, it does look really cool. And that off throttle bang sounds exactly like my car.
Yeah.
The chassis, I just want to make this clear, is stock. And the M140i and the M240i, they share the same chassis. So.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's still quick as f.
So, a few things. Obviously, this is a 5-door, right? So it's a much more convenient car, for sure. And the thing is that when you have the coupe, you have the longer doors. So you get that more like special cocoon feel.
Yeah.
But it still feels good.
Yeah, that's one thing we're getting in this car. The doors are so small.
Yeah.
So tiny.
But like that's the compromise though. You get a lot more convenience for your money.
Yeah.
Because you can actually, you know, get people in the back without having to get out.
Yeah.
But there's just something about a coupe with that 2-door vibe where you just feel cocooned.
Let's like be honest, like the coupe. It's all subjective. Do you like the hatchback look? What's it famous for? Like looking like a horseshoe or like a boot.
Yeah.
So
one thing that I'll say is like, as considering it's a 5-door, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Like let me give you a prime example, right? A Mercedes E-Class coupe. That thing looks like it's from the future.
Yeah,
it looks amazing inside and out. But then someone goes and spends the same money on a 5-door E-Class, and it looks like a Uber driver's car.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the same car.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
5 doors looks like 2 completely different cars. Whereas the M140i, whether you go for the coupe or whether you go for the 5-door for convenience, it more or less sort of like looks just as good as each other.
I hear you.
It's a lot closer the way it looks. Because typically a 5-door should look worse.
Yeah, of course. Well, Like 90% of the time, yeah.
Can you think of a car that's 5-door that looks better
That
than the
looks
coupe?
better than a...
I can't think of one. I feel like the closest thing is like the M140i.
No, you're not wrong. I'll give you that. The owner has modified the interior a bit.
The ambient lighting.
He's got a bit of star lighting here and the ambient lighting.
With these generation of cars, these F-Series cars, the one thing that Mercedes always had was these ambient lights that I had.
Yeah.
It was obviously an add-on, but we didn't even have an add-on. I think the new gen Bimmers
They do.
have ambient lighting,
Yeah.
but this one didn't, and he's installed it, and he's done an amazing job on it.
Yeah, I will say this, I really don't like aftermarket.
Sorry.
People do move out of the way. That's one thing
100%.
about BMW. You can never get...
Alpina! I see that Alpina a lot, you know. That's not the first time.
So, you know, owners of BMWs, when they put aftermarket options on it, like ambient lighting,
Yeah.
they really do a poor job at it. They do a really bad job. They get the cheapest brand, cheapest material, but like, if you could see it in the camera, I'll show you guys in a sec. The lighting, it looks like it's from factory. It came from it.
Yeah,
He's
honestly,
and he also hasn't done too much. You know, people lights in the wheel.
put it this way, if BMW were to do it themselves, they would probably do a worse job.
Yeah, true.
It looks so good, and this Rolls
At
Royce
night,
style.
I bet it looks amazing at night.
Yeah, it's just a nice experience. Like the sound system is so good.
But what else do you think about it, Kaz? Like, what is the biggest difference between this car and your car?
All right, so first things first. So
It drives the same, right?
it drives the same. It's still, the chassis still feels a bit loose, a bit wallowy, a bit crashy.
Yeah, especially around corners. I feel it. As a passenger, I can feel it.
In terms of power, it feels very similar, and it should,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So another thing to note, and take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt, okay? It's like 30 degrees right now, and Bavin has a stage 1 tune, like Bane, like my M240i, but he hasn't got an MSD air intake, and we've just done a pull over there, and it obviously felt powerful, typical B58. It is definitely running over 400 horsepower for sure, but it didn't feel as fast as I thought it would, and it didn't feel as aggressive as I thought it would. And I feel like it might be because of a bit of heat soak. So it's 30 degrees, it's got a stock air intake. That might be the thing that's stopping this car from feeling as aggressive as I thought.
Like sitting you in your seat.
Yeah. But again, it's got the same leather seats. The interior, minus the ambient lighting and stuff, like feels and looks the same. The 5 doors, the shorter doors is the thing that...
I mean, there's slight changes here. You can tell this is a completely new setup.
yeah, the facelift definitely has some like subtle touches.
Very subtle touches, and the dash is very clean. The steering wheel looks the same.
And these cars, we don't like say this enough, but like there is little to no cabin noise.
Yes.
Like literally, when you put the windows up, it's just so nice and chilled and relaxed. I'll put it into comfort mode so it doesn't hold the gears as much, and we're just chilling and we're cruising. And then you put the windows down, you put it into Sport Plus, and then all the craziness just comes through.
It's a good thing the brakes work.
Yeah, the brakes definitely work.
Brakes are strong.
Braked a bit too hard there. But yeah, so look, out of the factory, if you've never owned a sports car, you would think that the handling, the chassis is really, really good in this car. And it isn't bad. At the end of the day, it's an M Lite. It's not meant to be an M car.
Yeah.
It's not meant to feel like an M car. It's not meant to be planted. It's not meant to be to the ground, less crashy, all that type of stuff. That's the only thing I will go on and on about these F-Series M Lite cars. The only big area that you really need to focus on, if you want something that's confidence inspiring, is potentially doing a few things to the brakes, but mainly the chassis. Bilstein dampers and springs, some underfloor bracing and stuff like that. What's the other one for the chassis? I think the dampers and the springs are the biggest ones for the chassis, to be honest with you. Yeah. These cars, man. Imagine having this much power in a little M-like car. You can get kids' seats in the back.
Yeah.
It's a 5-door. If you're the
Put
type
your
of
2 kids in the back.
yeah, they'll have an amazing time.
Put your wife's boyfriend in the back as well. You're cruising.
Whatever type of guy that you are, this car is for you. Firstly, does it feel like a hatchback to you? Like, as in, sitting where we are,
No.
it feels like the same car,
It
right?
feels literally the same. And just by looking back at it, it's like almost deceiving. Like you forget sometimes you're in your car or his car.
If I suddenly spawned into here, yeah, would I be able to tell that I'm in an M140i? So pretend I didn't see the 5 doors. Apart from that, okay, I would have thought I'm in an LCI version of the M240.
Yeah. I mean, it's because it's what you bought first, right? It's your first like M2 car, M240. So yeah, I guess you would think that.
So is the joke on the M140i owners, or is the joke on the M240i owners?
So the joke is on M240i owners, mainly because the M140i's get extra room in the back, enough room to put a gigantic subwoofer in it. Sound system is amazing already, and you can bring 4 of your mates around, have a great time, and they can open their own doors instead of you having to get out and slide your seats back for them to get out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's one piece of road that I just want to go over, just so I get one last opinion on.
Like, it's taking up these. The thing with the suspension is it absorbs bumps really nicely.
I feel like it might be absorbing it a little bit better than mine, or is this like it's just this car is a little bit newer, and my car was a 2016, so technically 2 years older in terms of like the bushings and all those type of stuff. So like, I just want to go into this one road. I don't want to go too fast. I just want to get a feel of like the crashing. That's not as bad as my car.
You think it's better?
Not massively better.
It's slight,
It's still got issues of an M Light. Like the chassis still needs work. But that feels. Would you say it feels better than my car? I feel like my car would have been a little bit more crashier.
I think yours would have been a bit more crashy. But this is still crashy, by the way.
But
this is it still crashes a lot.
Yeah. I still think like this minimal thing that I'm talking about, it's 2016 versus 2018.
Yeah, yeah.
2 year old versions.
Yeah.
Very, very minimal. I would still class this car as a crashy car that doesn't give you as much confidence as you would get from an M car.
Yeah, agree.
Alright. I'm gonna give it to you. So from the passenger seat, it feels like an it feels like a M240.
What's this, huh?
Meth?
Oh shit! It's got a little dial on it.
It must be for
the
that. Yeah, so we would have shown you some footage anyway, but he has subwoofers in the back. And I mean, big subwoofer.
Big.
He wasn't messing around. He's got the whole JBL
Absolute.
setup, JBL amp, JBL subwoofers. I didn't ask about the tweezers and speakers, that might be stuff.
So good. Jesus Christ, this thing is just. This one's a lot bubblier than yours.
Nah, I feel like it's the same, man.
Bro,
Honestly.
Maybe.
Perhaps a tad more. It feels very safe to drive. But like, obviously we've got traction control on. So.
Yeah. I mean, what's my opinion on this car? It literally drives the same as your car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, suspension-wise, it's kind of soft, which is good for like day-to-day driving. The only problem is if you go quite hard and floor it, it crashes a lot, and you're not inspired to you don't want to floor it anymore. You're kind of scared because the car could dart another direction, basically.
Yeah.
The power, 420 horsepower. I mean, I've driven Kaz's car after it's been tuned. Kaz feels like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like just a slight bit more powerful. Maybe that's got to do with the weight as well. Maybe this car, I think, is a bit heavier. Interior is the same, exactly the same, apart from you get 2 extra seats in the back. You can put and also put your dog in the back as well, if on the boot, for example. This is more of a family-orientated kind of car. If you got like a big family and you have to drive your wife around or your
This makes a lot
your
more
kids
sense.
around, this would make a lot more sense to purchase.
But if you don't have kids, and not only do you not have like a family of your own, but in addition to that, like if you're genuinely someone that doesn't regularly pick up people, like pick up family, pick up friends, like have more than one passenger, then the M240i is for you, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. And
like in terms of the exterior, like let's be real, yeah, the 2 Series looks better than the M140.
the 2 Series looks, yes, of course.
Like it really does, because it looks like a more expensive car, it looks like a saloon. Whereas at the end of the day, although again the joke is on the M240i owner, this is still a hatchback. So a hatchback is the type of car that you start with.
Yeah.
You buy a hatchback, your whole life starts off with like a Ford Ka or
Ford
Fiesta, like
Golf,
like
something
Polo.
like that.
Not even a Golf. Oh, rich boy,
Whoa,
relax.
what do you mean?
Maybe like
Not
a
Golf.
Polo.
Oh, not a Golf.
But that's where your life starts off in these cars.
Don't get it wrong, yeah. Don't get it mixed up. If you think you buy this car and it's going to be kind of a little runabout, a little whatever car, you're like joking. A light tune, you get 400 horsepower. That's more than some Lamborghinis back in the early 2000s. You see what I mean?
Stage 1, no additional components.
It's a sick car to buy. For you get so much horsepower.
Yeah. The only thing that he needs to do if he wants to keep a stage 1 is he needs to do something about his cooling.
Cooling and suspension works, and I think the car's like pristine. And an LSD if he wants to go extra.
Yeah. I mean, personally, in the chassis department, the only thing I'll do on this car, just for the purpose of actually lowering it,
Yeah.
is get some Bilstein coilovers, so the actual dampers and the springs themselves.
Would you lower this car? You would lower
Only a tad.
A
Only
tiny
tad.
bit?
Yeah.
Not stance.
And with mine, I've confirmed that I don't have spaces in my car, but it looks like there are spaces, and I feel like this car can really do with spaces.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the stock alloys that he has are visibly like inside the bumpers.
There is one little problem with this car, and there's a problem with all BMW cars. It's a golfer's car, is it not?
No.
Are you joking?
How is an M140i a golfer's car? A golfer's car is a convertible 911 Turbo S.
That is cap.
A Bentley,
We are driving.
a Jaguar.
By the way, the little road we're driving to a local golf course.
Yeah, but they will have like X5s, X6s, they will have 5 Series, 6 Series.
I'm just saying.
They have the big cars.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but an M140i driver
I
is
would
not a
not be
golfer.
surprised.
No way.
You wouldn't see one JDM out there. You're
No
not gonna
way.
see one JDM out there. Maybe MX-5.
No. You see like old Ferraris, you see Bentleys, you see a lot of Porsches, a lot of them. And the BMWs that you see would typically be like GT cars, like a 6 Series and all that type of stuff. You're not going to see an M240i.
There's a BMW. There's a.
That's just a normal BMW.
Okay, can we count that as part of the BMW the M1 series? It's still a 1 series.
What do you mean? Is it,
That was a 2 series?
Yeah.
Okay, it was a 2 series.
You fucking. But look, we've both had the opportunity to drive this car.
Yeah.
Again, we've both driven my M240i, which is also stage 1 tuned, but it's a 2016 pre-LCI. This was an LCI version of the M140i. Has the same engine, has the same chassis. We've driven it long enough to form our opinions on whether we would buy an M240i
Yes.
or whether we would save some money and buy the M140i.
And we'll tell you what's in the set.
Guys, we had an amazing drive in the M140i. Massive shout out to Babs behind the camera for allowing us to drive your awesome car.
Yep.
And he definitely gave us some ideas on stuff to do on our future cars
for
and
sure.
stuff like that. But so we'll put the facts and the figures comparing my M240i to this M140i as well. But just to give a quick summary, so they both got a stage 1 tune. Bavin's still got the stock air intake. I have the MSD air intake. Cosmetic stuff aside, the 2 Series has more boot space. I think about 30 litres more boot space. So this has a smaller boot, especially with the massive woofers that he has on the back. But he can roll down his seats and I can't. So again, this car has 5 doors. Mine was actually a coupe. So this car has that convenience factor. It's got 5 doors. People can hop in and out. You can roll down the back seats and get like 1,200 litres of space. In terms of weight, they're more or less the same weight. They've more or less got the exact same engine, same chassis. So for me, like, this car felt like my M240i when I'm sitting in. Apart from the fact that the doors are obviously smaller because it's a 5-door. With a coupe, you get longer doors. You get that cocoon feel. For me, it's very simple.
What's that?
These cars goes the same, they feel the same, they sound the same.
All right.
But if I had a family, or if I was single, but I'm the type of person to drive a lot of people around,
Yeah.
or have a lot of shopping, a lot of big stuff to carry in my car, and I want that performance, this is the car to obviously go for.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're perhaps single, or like even if you're single or not for that matter, but like you typically don't have more than one passenger, I think I'd rather have my M240i. It subtly looks better, the coupe, the stealth version of the M240i. But one massive thing to take into consideration, like for like, so if I was to compare a 2016 M240i to a 2016 M140i, the M140i is about £2,000 cheaper.
Really?
And they should be roughly the same on insurance. People might wreck M140is more because there's more of them around, but it should be quite similar in insurance as well. So if it was my own money, considering my lifestyle, I've got my girlfriend and I typically pick up one friend. I don't really have like more than one passenger in my cars. So because of that personal situation of mine,
You would pick the
I
M2?
would pay £2,000 more and pick the M2, just because I think it looks better from the outside.
I hear you. I hear you.
That's my verdict. That's my explanation.
Okay.
But what do you think?
I hear your opinion. I hear what you're saying. And to be honest, I kind of agree. If you've got a big family, or if you've got a lot of people you drive with, if you're young, you know, when you're like 19, 20 years old, you've got a lot of friends. When you get your driving license, you have a lot of friends in your cars you're driving about. The M140i would probably be the best choice to pick.
Yeah.
If you have a little single man, a bit of a loser, you know, you're struggling in life, you got a bit of cash, you know, you got no friends or go or anything like that, you pick up the M240i. The M240 does look a bit more meaner from the back, especially because of the coupe, the way it looks.
Mm-hmm.
And with slight modification, you can make that thing look like Batman, basically. But yeah, basically what you said. If you have a family, pick up the M1. If you're by yourself, a loser, pick up the M2.
Yeah.
Would I do that? I don't know.
Would you rather save the £2,000?
I would rather save the £2,000 and put a fat subwoofer at the back and blow people's eardrums out.
It does sound amazing. It's never going to come across camera properly, even with these like good mics that we have.
Yeah.
But it sounds honestly phenomenal. It sounds insane.
It's so mad. If we can, we'll show you. The car vibrates when things at max volume.
We'll
I do
definitely
love
show you in
that.
a
I do
second.
love my music. The only thing is, the car does sound really good by itself. Like most of the time, I turn off my audio and just listen to the car crackle and pop. But yeah, so if I had my money, what is it? 20k?
It's about 21 for a 2016 M240i with around 35,000 miles. It's about £21,000.
Okay.
And then the equivalent 2016 same mileage for an M140i is in a region of like 80,500,
Wow.
19k.
Okay, you're
So
saying
it's
a lot
about
more.
£2,000. Like,
All right, for £2,000, I would rather pick this up, modify it with an extra 2k, get it to the exact same horsepower as your M240. But yeah, my money is on this. I'd buy this.
well, without further ado, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Again, I think a lot of our viewers have never subscribed to us.
Yeah.
We tried to finish the F-Series M Lite series by reviewing the final car against the 240, which is the M140i. Again, we've also done the video on the M235i versus the M240i, so if you haven't watched that, make sure to go and watch that.
Absolutely. And
I think we've got, after this video, or maybe perhaps before it, we've got one POV of my car. And after that POV,
we got something special for you guys.
the BMW centric vibes of this channel are going to swift a little bit more to a place called Japan or some sort, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm so excited for it.
But yeah, stay tuned. You're going to enjoy and love the next series that's coming out on this channel.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.
Take care.